Hello, hello, hello. What's up, peoples? What y'all up to? What you up to? Hello. How is everybody? Let me know in the chat. How you doing? How you be? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a little chilly where I'm at. All right. I'm a little where I'm at, the signal is a little weak, but it's allowing me to get on. So if I respond a little slower than you would like, it's because I am waiting for the connect. So, hey Jay, how you doing? Where are you joining me from? I'm so glad you joined me. Hopefully, we'll get some more folks joining me. I was eating. Oh, you're in South Florida. My daughter is in Tampa. Hey, Latonya, how you doing, beautiful? Latonya is part of the Black Women Who RV group, camping, RV life, all of the things. Just curious. Join Black Women Who RV. We are on Facebook. Oh, okay. How is the weather there today? Where I'm at, it was absolutely gorgeous. It's still nice, but when I tell you, being in the forest, you can definitely feel the coolness when it gets at night. Hey, Faith and Hope, Jamaican, I like that. If y'all hear any feedback, it's because it's taking a minute for the signal to come through. So you might hear some feedback. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Oh, great. Thanks, Jay. Did y'all have a good Memorial Day weekend? I don't celebrate the holiday, but I had a great day. Um, Actually, I was in Massachusetts and I went to Martha's Vineyard. A video is coming up about that trip to Martha's Vineyard. So if you don't have your notification set so you know when I upload, make sure you do that because I try to upload every Sunday and I do between 2 and 6 because I never know how the internet is going to show up for me. So I just say between 2 and 6 because if the internet is doing what it's going to do or where I'm at, I have a poor signal, I have to figure out how to make sure I get the videos uploaded. Oh, you had a full week off, Jay? Oh my gosh. Lucky you. Y'all, I'm eating something I ain't got no business, but it's so good. I can't help it. It says 9 folks are here, but I only see 1, 2, 3 names. Who else is here in the chat with me? Who else is live with me? Let me know where you. who you are. It says 11 people. Drop something in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're joining me from. Ask me any questions. I will do my best to answer them. Hey, Nicole, beautiful. How you doing? Blessings to you as well. Thanks for joining me. Nicole is like, she is always on it. She is just so sweet. Okay, let me tell y'all what I'm eating. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it is the Edwards strawberry cream pie. No, it is not vegan. It's not plant-based. But if you've been following me long enough, y'all know I eat what I want to eat. 99% of the time I'm eating plant-based. But I went into a Walmart in, I think I was still in Massachusetts. Oh, thank you, beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed my shorts. I'm really trying to figure out what to post, but I'm just posting what feels good. I'm not even trying to worry about stuff like that because, anywho. But let me tell you the story. So I was in the Walmart and I wasn't even looking for dust. I was not looking for, I had 5 things on my list, y'all, because I knew that I was going to be going to Martha's Vineyard and I just needed water. I needed some kitty litter for my portable toilet. And what else? I wanted some minced garlic. I wanted 2 kinds of minced garlic and the um, wet minced garlic. And oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that because I don't want people to think that I'm just all about van life. Van life, RV life is a very big part of my life right now and will probably always will be. But my biggest thing is I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. I want people to be happy. I want people to live their best life. I want them to, especially Black women, I want us to tap into our true power. I want us to tap into our true strength because we have put our strength in. This is driving me crazy with this reverb because I can hear myself. Maybe y'all can't hear me, but I can hear myself, and it's like, oh. But anyway, the channel is about liberty, serenity. It's about Black liberation, my liberation, and if I'm getting my liberation, I am sharing because I know that other Black women and other women, but specifically Black women, are possibly going through or have gone through a lot of what I've gone through, and may need some inspiration, may need some encouragement. And seeing me do this, especially at 57, almost 58 years young, it gives people hope. And I want to be hope for people. I was made for purpose, on purpose, with purpose. I need to make sure I tap into that. So that's what I'm trying to do. But getting back to this strawberry cream pie, I was introduced to this strawberry cream pie. Hey, Tracy. Oh, and you spell your name correct. Yes. I hate when people leave the E out of my name. It is like, that is not how you spell Tracy. You have to spell Tracy with the CEY. It just don't even look right without the E. Oh, thank you so much, love bug. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get this story out. Okay, so at Christmas, I visited my daughter and my mom in Georgia. I was there for about a month. I don't know how long I was there, but anyway, we went to one of my oldest friends' house, and they had this Edward strawberry cream pie, y'all. When I tell you it was so good, and the way that I am, and I'm so grateful that my tummy does not act a fool when I eat. dairy or mama cook something, if the people I love, my friends cook something and they want to break bread with me, I'm breaking bread with them, eating what they cook for me because they did that. I don't expect them to convert and try to cook for me. That's not their lifestyle. That's my lifestyle. Now, if they want to do that, I love that and I appreciate it, but I want to be able to break bread with them. And again, I'm glad my stomach doesn't trip out and it allows me to still every now and then. I don't do this often, but I just could not resist this strawberry cream pie. Probably because I can't find my it's the So Delicious vanilla pecan sundaes. And I can only find them in Maryland. I have not been able to find them since I've been traveling. So I think I'm just craving something sweet. So this is what I got. It's so good. Have y'all ever had this? The strawberry cream pie. I don't like their lemon cream pie, but I do love this one. It's so good. Mm. But I don't too much care for the brand part. Nicole, thank you. And you motivate me. Well, I'm gonna say you inspire me because motivation is an inside job because motivation is fleeting. Motivation is if I feel like I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. But for me, I'd say inspiration because when I see someone else's story, it inspires me. And when I'm inspired, I can tap into what I need to do to motivate myself to do whatever it takes for me to get to that place that I want to be. So, but I am so grateful to hear that. Thank you. Because, we don't want to just be, I'm a bitch. Um, yeah. I love what I'm doing. This is like my second attempt at creating a YouTube channel. And I think the difference for me is that it ain't even about me anymore. It's just, I'm doing it because I care. I do it because I actually enjoy creating the content now. It doesn't feel like work, but I do have to get some balance because but it's going to be fire once I finally get the videos and the shorts and stuff going. So who saw my van bill video and what did you think? I know that's everybody was waiting to see that. And I know some people saw it on tiny house tours. And I was waiting because I didn't know if I didn't want to overlap, but then I was like, oh, right here. It's my van. So I'm gonna show my liberated soul family my van. And it just so happened that it came out the week that I was actually gonna post. And then my solar system just like went out. And I was like, thank you, beautiful. I really wanted my van to be my RV was if you can imagine my RV was like this too. My RV was a little bit more colorful because I had more space, color scheme in the van that I had in my RV. The pillows that you saw, these pillows, I had these same pillows in the RV on my pull-out sofa that I had in the RV. So I wanted Nina Simone to be her own, um, her own spirit, if you will. But I also wanted to make sure that I had parts of Liberty Serenity because I loved my RV. I really love my RV, but I really love Nina Simone too. Nina Simone is when I come into Nina Simone, if you are a van lifer and or if you are in a smaller class B, and this is a class B RV. It's called a van. But if you're in a smaller one, you probably can relate when we come into here, it's like you're in a cocoon. I don't know if it's reminiscent of being in our mother's womb or something. I don't know, but it is just so comforting. I love it. I love it. I know once I finish my journey traveling the country, going to Canada, Mexico, and Alaska, my husband and I are going to get another bigger RV. Hopefully, the prices and interest and all that will be lower. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Kai. How you doing? I can't wait to hang out with so many of you. I'm gonna have to do some meetups once I get my bearings, so that I can see and meet most of you all, as many of you as possible while I'm traveling. So cozy. It just envelops you. It's a feeling that I really can't explain. I didn't expect it. Because again, I had a big old 32 foot. I had plenty of room. I had a whole separate bedroom, a whole separate shower and bathroom. I had a nice sized little kitchen area. I had a dining set. So I had literally a house on wheels in the RV. So this was a little bit different and smaller, of course, but I didn't know it was going to make me feel this way. Now, when I bought her from the sister that I bought her from in Maryland, I bought her because of how she made me feel. Before she was anything like this, she was rusty. She was just a shell of a van. The sister that had her before me, she did a no build and it worked for her, but I knew that a no build would not work for me. Um, I wanted to have insulation. I wanted to have things secured. I wanted it to be truly an RV so that if anything happened from an insurance perspective for me, because I am in insurance and I know how insurance companies operate, I wanted it to be no issues if something happened. Um, Thank you, Kai. So that was one of the reasons why doing a actual build gave me more space, because the lady who I bought her from, she saw the tour on Tiny House Tours and she reached out and she was like, I had no idea that van could have so much stuff in it. So it actually gave me more space because I built her out versus doing a no build, if that makes sense. Yeah, I gotta do some future meetups because I think that's gonna be really instrumental. I do meetups with Black women who RV, my social network for Black women who RV. And again, if you are doing car life, if you're tent camping, if you're just curious about this lifestyle, um, van life, RV life, you can join Black women who RV. It is a safe space. We are adamant about keeping it strictly Black women who RV. There are no men in there. There are no other ethnicities in there. Of course, there's some mixed race sisters in there. But if they identify, and that is one of the questions to become a member, if they identify as a Black woman, African American woman, then they can join the group. Now, when we look at profiles, we look through everything. We looking at your pictures. If you don't have pictures of yourself, we don't allow you in the group because we don't know who we're dealing with. And it is a safe space. It's where we let our hair down. It's where we talk about things that we can't talk about anywhere else. So, Black women who RV on Facebook. And as soon as I get my bearings, we will have a website. Oh, thank you, Planet and Venus. Thank you. Y'all, I'm scratching. Something bit me while I was in Massachusetts. And when I tell you it tore up my calves down to my ankles, and that's the reason why I'm working on getting the website. I was supposed to have this website done months ago, but I don't know how to build websites. My husband and my bonus son was helping. Then they had life started going crazy with them. Um, but still, it needs to be done. Come June 1st, they're offering memberships. I got to get that done. too. So, and memberships will give you benefits to some of the organizations and businesses that we have partnered with to provide discounts and things like that to Black women who RV. Y'all, I'm loving this journey so far. I've gotten, I can't, how many states have I been to? I had to find my paperwork. So I won't tell you where I'm at, but I did just leave Massachusetts. And I loved, I loved Massachusetts. I loved, I enjoyed Delaware. I'd already been to Delaware before, but it was going up the coast that I was planning. Well, I won't say the coast. It was going up in the direction that I was going. Um, but I did not like Connecticut. If you are from Connecticut, I'm sorry, but I did not like Connecticut, and I did not like Boston. I went to the Whole Foods in Boston, and let me tell you, they had a good selection. They really had a good selection in South Carolina. I'm a really I'm an extrovert. I really like people for the most part. Um, and I just, just being kind just is hard to do, right? But for some people, it really is. Um, it was odd. I did not like Boston at all, and the roads were horrible. And then the other thing that I didn't like about Boston was there were certain roads that said cars only because of the clearance. So thank God I have a Garmin RV where I put in the weight of my RV and the height. So it takes me across roads and bridges and things like that that can accommodate my height and my weight. Because had I not had C unit on the top of Nina Simone, I have to be very careful about what I'm going under. Because I'm not trying to tear my roof up, you know? No, I have not made it to the West Coast yet, Kai. That is happening. I'm making my way from the East Coast to the West Coast. I think I'll be on the West Coast by the end of this year. Um, I had originally started. Hey, Nicole, thank you. You have a blessed night too. Continue to be your beautiful self. And thank you for being a Liberated Soul Family tribe member. Oh, baby girl, feel better. Because this weather has been crazy. I do hope you feel better. I'll keep you in my prayers. Sweet dreams. But yes, I am coming to the West Coast. I cannot wait to get to the West Coast. I can't wait to get to the Pacific Northwest. There's so many places, but I'm really excited because right now I'm going north, south, north, south, north, south. I didn't want to go east, west because that's a long distance across and coming back. This one felt right for me to do north, south versus east, west. And the reason why I did that also was because going north, south gives me the opportunity to go into Canada often. And I wanted to see all of as well. But I wanted to see as much of Canada once I get across the, up to the northern border of the United States. You're in Las Vegas, Tracy? Oh, cool. I'm coming to Nevada, honey. I'm coming. I will. If you're in Black Women Who RV, and I haven't really shared a whole lot of where I am in Black Women Who RV either. One, because safety is an issue no matter where we are, and what groups we're in. But I'll share more of my location in Black Women Who RV than I will on YouTube. YouTube can be there could be some stalkers on YouTube. And the last thing I want is for my husband, my children, my mama, my friends who care about me, my liberated soul family, to be worried about me. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and only reveal where I've been after I've left there. I may not even share campgrounds because people crazy. People are really crazy, and it's sad that you have to do that. But if you are in Black Women Who RV and you're on the email list, you'll probably get some of that information. So yeah, but I am so looking forward to seeing so much of this country. I was coming into um, where was I coming into? I got so confused about where I am because I tried to. At first, I started with self grace to change, um, because I want to be able to enjoy the state. I want to be able to sightsee. I want to be able to try different foods, go to different events if I decide I want to go to an event in that area, meet other RVers and van lifers, car lifers, nomads. Just put it that way. Let's nomads. Um, and it just does not give me enough time to adequately tap into rest. Rest is big. It's something that I'm learning, and I'm actually doing a video about that. So again, set your notifications. I have so much content in the hopper. It's only so much time in the week because I still have my insurance agency. I'm trying to work my way out of it and find a part-time job. But I have not been successful in finding a part-time job. So it's been a little crazy. But the Lord has not, Mother Father God has not forsaken me. Um, I don't know how I'm even doing this from a financial perspective. I don't even know how I'm doing this right now. I really don't. Um, but I'm grateful. I am so grateful that it's happening. And Mother Father God is just showing up and showing out. I have had people cash app me. I've had people ask me about the super things, which I think is available now. I have no one's. I think this you can only do super things through lives because I just got monetized. So I don't know what um, the tools are, but I'm just grateful for being monetized because that's going to give me a stream of income to continue this journey. And yes, my husband is very supportive, but my husband is keeping the home together. So I try my best not to tap into asking him for anything as much as possible because my husband is so supportive. He will do anything to make sure that that this dream comes true for me. And I love him so much for that. But at the same time, I don't want to tap him. Hey, Tracy Erie, how you do? Wait a minute. Why does your name sound familiar? Another Tracy Claros. There's another Tracy, and she spells her name correctly too. She's in San Diego. I'm coming to the West Coast, but it probably won't be until latter part of this year because I'm taking my time going across the country. I don't want to exhaust myself. I want to give myself grace and mercy to really enjoy this and to tap into unlearning because that's what capitalism has taught us. I'm not even. I know three of us. It was funny three. um, Part of this healing journey is learning how to live slowly, be in the moment, be present, to unlearn those unhealthy ways of capitalism and leaning into rest, because if you saw what was my I think it was my video about why I'm doing this solo, and I talked about rested resistance and sacred rest performing better than what it did before, is because I am leaning into rest. Yes, today I slept late and I did do a little bit of content creation, but I'm not exhausted. And I used to work myself into a frenzy, like most Black women. That's why they call us the strong Black woman. I mean, because first we take a whole bunch of ish that we shouldn't be taking, and secondly, we're workhorses. We've been the labor, and we also have to provide the labor in creating children. So it is what it is. And I'm unlearning those things. I'm unlearning patriarchal ways. I'm learning how to tap into my femininity, because that's actually where our power is. Our power is not in the masculine. I am unlearning some of the ways that I actually used as a way to, how do you say it? To self-soothe. A lot of the ways that we've learned how to self-soothe are not serving us, they're actually hurting us. One of mine, I would say, is I stayed busy. I stayed busy because I was trying to prove myself so often. Good night, Kai. They are coming. They are coming. I'm just I have to figure out how to do vlogs in a way, because I'm a talker, and everybody, people want vlogs, but I'm a talker. I like to share, and it's just a little bit different for me. So I'm figuring that out, but they are coming. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to release. Oh, it's so many. I just got to get them all edited. I can't wait to see your journeys too, Kai. Have a good one, love. So before we get into all this other stuff, does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody want to know about my van build? Somebody wanted to know how much my van build cost. I'm going to talk about that in a separate video, because I think it deserves its own video, because I'm sure people are interested in it. Because if you saw my tiny house tours, it gave a figure, and that was just a number that I threw out. I honestly, I had to guess, because I didn't really keep receipts. Um, I wasn't really planning on sharing that information, to be honest, but I think people are interested in it. So I'm going to share it, um, because I also don't want people to get the idea that um, we are rolling in dough. You know, we are always blessed because Mother, Father, God takes care of us, and my husband is the leader in our home. Um, Hair care on the road. I am going to talk about that, but I will not be sure. I cannot watch a YouTuber person, but I will talk about it, and I will share my products. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a separate video on that, because a lot of people have asked me about my hair, and I just washed my hair while I was at the Massachusetts campground and twisted it up. And I was looking at a video, Where is Tiffany? Yeah, Where is Tiffany? She just cut all of her hair off because she was so unhappy with her hair, and she was talking about how her hair was not soft anymore, it was brittle, um, and things like that. I haven't had that problem, but it may have more to do with what I do to my hair, and I'm going to share that. So let me make sure I put that in my phone, because I don't want to forget to do that. And for me, it doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal, but a lot of people want to know about my hair, so I am going to add it to my notes. YouTube, because when you're out on this road, Planet Fitness, I do have a shower and I have washed my hair in my shower here. It's just not big enough because I got my hair when I straighten my hair, even when it's not straight. I mean, I'll pull one of my twists. It's pretty long. So when I'm trying to detangle my hair in my shower, just work. So I try to make sure that when I go to a nice campground or to a nice Planet Fitness, I either go very early in the morning or right before they're getting ready to close, like 2 hours before they're getting ready to close, because most people won't be in there. This is just a tip that I've learned. Get there early or get there later, and then you will have the bigger showers and you will have more time. I don't feel rushed, and I can spend the time to truly wash and deep condition my hair the way that I do at home so that I can keep this on my head. So I will talk about that in the hair care video. And that was the anything else that you guys, you all, I'm working on that too, because you guys is a patriarchal way of talking, um where it puts men at the top and it makes all of us masculine. It's you all. Anything else you all want to see on the channel? Because yes, Liberty Soul Family Tribe. I'm so glad you all are here. This made my night. More food? Yes. Now that I can do. More food. I will say today I had, let me see if I can find a container, but I don't know if I can get it. I threw it away. Well, I can't get it out because it has food on top. But I tried this eggplants, tomatoes, and onions because I've cooked this at home myself. Kind of not at Trader Joe's. It was not what I was hoping for. So I've tried, while I've been traveling, I've tried several vegan places. I have not been happy. I'm disappointed, to be quite honest. I've tried a number of vegan places and they just weren't good. Um, so definitely gonna have some food this week while I'm here at this campground. I'm gonna do some cooking. So there's gonna be at least one part of the video that's gonna be cooking. Um, what about routines? I have a certain way of doing things in the morning and at night to minimize how much time you guys are y'all interested in my routines. I know a lot of people do that. My routine may be a little bit longer than some others because I I'm me. Or y'all might feel like it's short. I don't know. But definitely that. Would you all like some more talking head videos? Because I don't know if many of you all know it, but I am a life coach for Black women. Would you all like to do for me to talk about that? Now, I am going to be talking about some things, like for instance, I have a video coming up about that's going to be talking about rest, but that's not exactly what the video is about. But it's going to have some rest information in there because I realized something about van life that was not talked about. We're gonna talk about it. Um, oh, thank you, Tracy. I love that. Thank you so much. Because I know some people like the talking head, like, where you're just talking and sharing information. Some people like vlogs. I do like vlogs. I'm just learning how to not talk so much in my vlogs. Okay. All right. All right. Definitely. Definitely. Um, and I've also got to talk about how now I will say, I'm actually Tracy Dunn. My name is Tracy. The name of the channel is Liberty Serenity. But thank you. I'm gonna be me. The one thing I know how to do is be me. I don't. It's too much work trying to be somebody else. I like me, so I'm gonna continue to be Tracy. And I'm too old for that. I'm not gonna say age wise. I'm too mature for that. I'm almost 60 years young. I ain't got time to be nobody else. Really like me. And I always liked me. There were things that I needed to understand about myself, which is also part of what this healing is about. But I've been doing this healing thing since in earnest since 2009. So that's what in 5 years, that'll be 20 years of healing. And I'm still healing because there's a lot of unlearning, unconditioned, a lot of what is it, unconditioning that I need to extract. And I'm going to be doing this healing till the day I die because I'm always going to be focused on being a better me, tapping into my higher self. You watched me all last night? Oh my God, Lady Love, thank you so much. I didn't know I could keep anyone's attention that long. Thank you. Oh my God, that is so sweet. And thank you for the hearts, Tracy. Tracy Ely, or is it Eli? Um, this journey has been very interesting. I will say the further I go away from home, I was telling my daughter, we were talking while I was making my way to the campsite yesterday. And thank you. Oh my God, that makes me feel so good that I am refreshing. I just try to be me because that's all I know how to do is be me. I'm going to be as honest. I'm gonna give it to you the way it is, the real, real. I don't know how else to. I don't even know how to sugarcoat stuff. I just don't even know how to do that anymore because what I've learned in my 57, almost 58 years of being here on this earth is that when we sugarcoat stuff, we cut people off at the knees. People will not get to the level that they need to be at if we sugarcoat stuff. There is a way that we can say things in a way that is still impactful and doesn't have to break a person because that is not the intent for me. I don't want to break anybody. The world is already doing that every single day. My goal is to uplift. My goal is to inspire. My goal is to help someone to tap into their truth. My goal is to help someone to tap into their strength, the power that they've given away that they didn't even know they had. So that's what I'm trying to do with Liberty Serenity, the channel, because we people gonna always be trying to break you down because when they feel like they broke you down, they feel like that's lifting them up when they don't realize that's actually only hurting them and making them smaller. Because if you have to get your power by belittling someone else, you have to feel like you're in power by harming someone else. That's not strength. That's cowardice. That's cowardly. That is not strength at all. Strength is being able to lift someone else up even when you don't feel like you have strength. That in fact is your strength. So that's what my goal is. Oh, you bought a customized van? Oh, cool. So was it already customized for you or was it customized for someone else? I'm curious. Because my little van, whoever buys this van, if I ever decided to sell it, which I probably won't ever sell her, Um, a 93 Dodge. Okay, because this one is a 97. Is it a 3500 like this one? When I tell you my baby be getting it, I love her. She feels people who have my mom, my daughters have ridden in this van with me. They are like, "Are you sure this is a van?" Because it rides that good. Of course, the tires make a difference, but she is she's definitely a strong vehicle. I'm just praying. I always ask Mother, Father, God, just continue to keep her strong and make sure she just keeps moving on up the road and get me from point A to point B safely. See if I got any more of this. Got some more left. Ooh, I would love to see your van. Honey, don't it? Prayer definitely changes things. Thank you so much. I love my little van. Honey, Juniper. Okay, I'm Juniper. I don't wait to join the Black Women Who RV group. Is not if you already started. If you have started, that's great. It's for if you're contemplating, if you have questions, if you simply want to be in the company of Black women who are RVing, who are contemplating it, who are on the sidelines looking in, trying to figure out if it's what they want to do. That's when you really need to be inside the group. Be inside the group, ask your questions, share. There's so many women in the group who are deciding it's you don't are considering van life. And thank you for the people who've already booked a coaching session with me. I really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting it. I just put it out there and allow Mother Father God to do what Mother Father God is going to send the people to me. So if you are interested in van life, if you are interested in having me look at your design or helping you design your van, if you're interested in figuring out what will work for you, what will not work for you, helping you discover what your why is it that you really want to do RV van life with nomad life? If you even want to talk about trauma, what some of the things that are holding you back, because I am a Black liberation and trauma healing coach. So, but I do offer all of that. So feel free to book a coaching session that helps me stay on the road. Just like monetization helps me stay on the road, super things help me stay on the road, all the things. Um, so thank you in advance. Oh, now that I can certainly help you with. Why don't you book a coaching call and we can talk about that and I can help you figure out what it is that you want because everyone has a different way of how they want to decorate, what colors they want, and things of that nature. How do you join the group? You go onto Facebook and look up Black Women Who RV. And again, it is for Black women. There are 4 questions that you have to answer. So please make sure you answer the questions because we are very, very adamant about those questions being answered because it helps us to keep the integrity of the group and it helps us to continue to make sure that it is a safe space for Black women who RV. I have a Honda Element that you start with. Absolutely. Start with what you got. I was gonna try to do it in my car, but the way my car was, it just wasn't gonna work for me because my seats wouldn't go back, and I wasn't willing to take seats out because I knew that I wasn't going to. Um, I knew I was not going to be able to do it, in my car. And I wanted if I'm gonna do anything with my car, I'm gonna give it to one of my kids. Oh no, ma'am. I haven't had any problems with Nina Simone. Um, Mother's Kitchen says we have the same van. I just purchased it, and it's so cool that I just found you the day after I got it. Has your drive gear ever stopped on you? No, ma'am, it has not. Now, what I will tell you, um, I know a good bit about cars because my brothers are diesel mechanics. I've had a lot of lemons in my life. My ex-husband and I used to own a used car dealership, so I know a good bit about cars. Um, what I will say, there is a group there are several Dodge groups on Facebook. I would say join those groups. Also join the Road Trek for Women group because the road treks are built on the same chassis. If you look at a Dodge 3500 and a road trek, the same exact thing. Um, if your gear stops on you, I would say go get you one of the OBD things that you plug into your computer up under your steering wheel and figure out if there's probably a sensor or something that is probably malfunctioning that needs to be replaced. Her entire front end. I knew that I was gonna. She's a 97. If you buy 90s anything older, you have to have the mindset that you're gonna have to put some money into it. You're gonna have to do some work to it. Some people get lucky. I won't even say lucky. Some people find vehicles that are in excellent condition. Someone has paid it. She was in excellent condition considering. Um, what I liked about my Nina Simone was that she had been with the state of Virginia for the first 7 years of her life. And I was able to find a Carfax on her. Um, but I knew she was for me. And also, when I crank her up, I listen for knocking, for weird sounds and things like that. But that's just because I've been around cars. I kind of know I know enough to be dangerous. I'm gonna say that. I know enough that if I go into a mechanic shop, they're not going to be able to pull the wool because I'm going to go research it first anyway. Um, and then I also have some, yes, it's just something about Mother's Kitchen. When you see it, you know it. But I'm very, I have a few mechanic friends that I can also call and just ask them certain questions and I can get the help that I need. Exactly. There's nothing worse than being stranded in a strange place. And that's why one of my things that I do with my band every time I may be at a campground or boondocking for 4 or 5 days, but before I get on that highway, I check all of my fluids. I always take my because she is an older van, and also Mother's Kitchen. Let me give you a tip also. These fans, you think that your transmission fluid and the fluids are actually going through the engine and the transmission and all of the parts, the components when it's in park. That is not true. You need to, whenever you start your van up, and I would say this to do this with any older van, you need to put it in neutral. Let it go, put it in neutral first. Of course, put your emergency brake on. Put it in neutral. Hey, sister friend. Um, put it in neutral for a few minutes. That way, the oil and the transmission fluid will start going through the motor and the transmission. Then take it through the gear shifts: park, reverse, neutral, drive. And some you can go through second gear and first gear also, but you really don't have to. And go back through them 1 or 2 times just so that it gets lubricated because these are older vehicles. That's a good tip. Um, yeah, one of my older friend, not oldest as an age, but she is on the chat. Aquafina, hey sis, how you doing, beautiful? She was also one of my coaching clients. She was also one of my coaching clients. Turn friend, turn sister. Oh, sis, thank you. It's called the OBD. Let me see if I can. I have one. Let me grab mine. If you go to AutoZone or Advanced Auto, tell them you want the thing to put their what is that thing called? It's an OBD. Um, let me look it up on my phone. I'm trying to. It's a diagnostics. That's what it is, and it'll tell you codes. Anything that's going on with that your rig, it will kick out those codes. No way, lady love. You're 69 years young. You go, sister. And faith and hope, Jamaican, you're gonna be okay. And let me tell you how I know you're gonna be okay. The only thing that you can do when you get out here on this road is to make sure that you do everything that you can do to be okay. You can do all the things, and that's just like all the security measures that I have put in place, my husband has put in place for me. I put those, and I don't talk about all of them because if they're my security measures, I don't need to be sharing them on YouTube or anything. That's very important. I will talk about safety, but I'm not going to share what I do for safety. I did share like the little Faraday. Um, that's just something, everybody can do that. But from a perspective, I try my best to keep certain things close to the chest because we don't know who's out here who's looking to harm us. But what I do, and what I would suggest that we all do, your biggest thing that's going to keep you safe out here while you are doing this is situational awareness, knowing your surroundings, doing research about the areas that you are going to, and learning about. And I have a ebook that's, I think, $10. That's a 47-page ebook that talks about RV safety for Black women. I don't know if you're Black or not, but and it will work for other people, but specifically for Black women, because we have to look at things a lot differently than our counterparts do. Because the further that we go in some areas, we will be the only people that someone see that looks like us. And it can be a little unsettling. It can be uncomfortable. And some people don't feel very comfortable. For instance, I am at a national forest, and there's a person who is camping. What I do is, if I can get access to take a way to take photos um, of their vehicles or tagged or anything, just in case, I'm getting that. I would do that even if I were somewhere and I felt uncomfortable. It doesn't matter that I'm in a forest. I would do this if I felt uncomfortable going to a shopping mall and something didn't feel right. The same thing that you do at home to be safe, you need to do it in your rig as well. Don't slack up just because you are in a moving vehicle. Just for instance, I know a lot of people who are in their rigs, and when they get to a campground, they put a lot of stuff in their cab area to make it a lot more roomy in their living space. And they will put stuff in their driver's seat. Why would you do that? Don't put nothing in your driver's seat. If you need to get the heck on, you need to get the heck on. You don't need to be trying to move stuff. Just some things like that are common sense. Um, for me, I just try to think of common sense things. Another tip that I could give someone is, for instance, if you are at a campground, um, thank you, sis. Thank you, Lizette. That's my sis right there. Can't wait to give her a hug. Another thing, if you're at a state park, national park, private campgrounds, there's usually camp hosts, right? Go introduce yourself to the camp hosts. Let them know who you are. Here's the reason why you want to do that. Because when they know who you are, you also know who they are. You get a feel for them as well. Also, if something popped off, they already, excuse me, you have taken a time out to go introduce yourself, spend some time talking to them. They have a more incentive to do something to help you than for those people who did not take the time to thank them, say hello to them. Like today, I walked around with the camp host and I got to meet her dog, Lynn. She was just as sweet as she could be. The camp host was sweet. So, but just little things. Yes, as Black women, we do have to be vigilant and on guard against the evil that spreads around us. However, we also have to also tap into our own power, and our own power is in our higher self. Our higher self is already going to tell us where the evil is. And if we're listening, and if we have a relationship with our higher self and are spending time tapping into our higher selves, our intuition, the Holy Spirit, our higher selves, right, are going to tell us when we need to make a move. Like, I feel very safe where I am. If I did not feel safe, one, I would tell my husband. Two, I would tell my children. Three, I would not only just tell them, but I would get the heck on, even if I've paid for the space. I'm not worried about the money because money will come. I'm worried about living to see another day. And I'm not even worried about that because I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to I'm going to have the situational awareness. I'm going to scout out. Like today, when I got out of my van, I went and walked around the entire campground to see what was around me, to see who is around me. Not only do I want them to know that I saw them too. A lot of times we get in these campgrounds and we're like, we're just going to stay in our own little spot. That is not the right thing to do. And here's the reason why. If nobody ever sees you, if something did pop off, how are they going to even know that you were even there? If you are the only brown or Black person there, or person of color, you're going to stand out. Trust and believe you're going to stand out. Okay. I like it personally. They don't bother me. It does not bother me that I'm the only person who looks like me. I could care less. As long as you mind your business over there and don't come up in my butt, we good. I don't care. I don't care if you got a Confederate flag. I don't care if you got a Trump flag. I don't care what kind of flag you have. As long as you don't bring that stuff over into my campground spot, we good. Because here's the thing, and this is something that I had to learn because I would get upset about the Confederate flags and I would get upset about people having Trump flags and whatnot. But those are their rights too. They have a right to do whatever, to share whatever it is that they want, as long as how they treat me, how they speak to me, how they show up with me is respectful. As long as they are not calling me out of my name, and even if they call me out of my name, I know who I am. As long as you don't put your hands on me, as long as you don't get up in my personal space, we good. And when you get to that state of mind, you release a lot of fear that keeps us from going and doing the things that we should be doing. We've given away too much of our power looking at outward things when the power is already inside of us. And we continue to give it away. Am I cognizant of Confederate flag? You're darn skippy. Am I cognizant of the person who likes Trump, you darn skippy. I don't care who you vote for. I don't. That's your personal choice, your right to vote for who you want to vote for, just like me. But if I put my Black Lives Matters out there, I better not hear a peep out of you, okay? I better not hear. That's why I wear my T-shirt. Black women who RV. I do not hide anything. I wear my paraphernalia. I have T-shirts that says "Black, unapologetically Black and fearless." I wear my stuff everywhere I go because they're gonna wear what they want to wear. You can't tell me I cannot wear what I want to wear when you gonna wear what you gonna wear. Mm-mm. It don't work that way. I don't do it to be rude. I don't do it. This is simply my birthright. It's my right. Yes, lady love. Definitely range. One thing I'm gonna say about the guns, I am for everyone having their protection. But if you are traveling, you have to be careful with that because when you are traveling in your vehicle, unless you have concealed carry, and even if you have concealed carry, some states that you go through in your van will require you to separate your firearm and your ammunition. So you got to get to the ammunition, you got to get to the firearm, and you got to be able to put them together. By the time you done all of that, you've been attacked. What other methods do you have to protect yourself? What do you think that a person who gets sick or has chronic illnesses should do to prepare for instances that happen to them? If you are a person that has chronic illnesses or get sick, I would not. This would be my suggestion. Um, because I have gotten sick when I was on the road, and I don't have a chronic illness or anything, but I do know that it can be very uncomfortable when you are sick. So, what I would suggest, if you can manage this financially, is to stay at campgrounds and places like that versus boondocking often. I'm a campground kind of girl, although I do like to boondock. Once I get on the West Coast, I'm going to boondock as much as I possibly can. I like being out and off grid. But if you have a chronic illness, especially if you have not gotten it under control with exercise, diet, mental, because a lot of times up here has a lot to do with how your chronic illnesses are showing up. Um, that is what I would say. And the reason why I say that is because when you are in the company around people, you can get access to help a lot faster than if you are off somewhere by yourself, boondock, or if you're at a Walmart parking lot, or if you're at a Cracker Barrel parking lot. Now, Cracker Barrel, you might be a little, it might be a little easier to get some help, but I would certainly say that. Yes, Lady Love Bear Spray is great, and I'm going to pop back to you. But that is what I would say. Also, make sure if you have insurance, make sure it is a PPO, a preferred provider organization, not a HMO, not those. Because if you get sick, you need to be able to go to whatever medical facility you can get to. And a preferred provider organization medical care is going to allow you to go to whatever provider is in that area. Okay. Yes, you'll pay more out of pocket because it's not in the confines of the preferred provider organization that you would know. But the point is, you will actually be able to go see a doctor. Um, but the biggest thing I would say is to get your illness under control. Figure out what are your triggers that will have that makes flare-ups happen. Before I left for my road trip, I made sure I had my mammogram, my pap smear, all the things, my eye exam, my dental. I even had some foot surgery done before I left to make sure that when I get out here on this road, I'm going to be okay. In my van, I have first aid. In my van, I have everything that I don't get sick. instance, part of my morning routine, or evening routine, depending on when I remember to do it, or if I decide to do it twice a day, is I actually use a neti pot to clean my sinus cavities, because a lot of our illnesses come through what we are breathing, right? So I cleanse my sinus cavities all the time, every single day. No, sometimes twice a day, sometimes only once a day. Like, for instance, I'm out here in the national forest, right? I'm not around people, so I'm not breathing germs from people who may be sick. So I'll probably only use my neti pot once, which I've already done today. I'll use my neti pot once. But if I've been around people going in and out of Walmarts, or doing tours or whatever, I'm going to use that neti pot twice, once in the morning, once at night. Okay, so that's something I'm doing. But the biggest thing, if you have chronic illnesses, is to make sure that it is under control. Make sure if you are on medications that you have them on hand at all times. Make sure you have access to get those prescriptions filled. And again, I would say the PPO, if you have access to a PPO. But those are the things. And again, staying at campgrounds, in my opinion, that is what I would suggest, because if you have a chronic illness that can be debilitating, you're going to need some support, and you're not going to be able to get it at a Walmart parking lot, or a Cracker Barrel, or a Dick's Sporting Goods, or whatnot. You are so welcome. Yes, Lady Love, bear spray is definitely something else that I would certainly encourage you to have. Also, think of other things. Anything in your van can become a weapon. I'm just going to say that. Anything can be a weapon. Anything can be a weapon. I would also say learn some self-defense. Learn some self-defense. Simple self-defense can be so, so important. If something has ever happened to you, don't say help, say fire. People will help you quicker if you say fire. Don't say help. Don't say help, help. No, say fire. Remember that. Scream fire, fire. People will come running for fire. It's sad, but that's true. Why? Because it's personal property. People don't want to lose their property, but they don't care about losing their life. Sad to say it, but it's true. Mother's Kitchen says, off topic, any hair care growth tips? The only hair care growth tip that I will ever give anyone is to keep your scalp and hair clean. Your hair cannot grow if your scalp is not clean. The other one is to keep your body clean. You have to feed your body good stuff in order to have good stuff growing out of your scalp, because this is dead. This is dead. This ain't got no life in it. Okay? But it can't grow if the scalp is in disarray, if the scalp is dirty, and it cannot grow if you are feeding yourself all these different chemicals and not paying attention to what you're putting in your body. So those are the tips that I would have for hair growth tips, because I didn't do anything to grow my hair except take care of my scalp and eat a very balanced diet. Even when I was eating meat all the time, I still had a very balanced diet with lots and lots of vegetables. I drank water. I exercise. So it's what you put in your body, because what you put in your body is going to show up on the outside of your body. Those are the tips. And as far as hair care, learn your hair. That's the other tip I'll give you. When I was going natural, and going away from the creamy crack, um, I had to learn my hair, because I did not know what my hair liked. I didn't know if it liked olive oil, castor oil, coconut oil. I didn't know what it liked. I didn't know if it liked paraffins. I didn't know if it liked silicones. I didn't know anything. So I kept a diary about my hair, and I only used 3 products at a time. Because if you're using all these different products and mixing them up, you're not getting an idea of what your hair likes. And if you're not using them for a period of time, you don't know if your hair likes it. You don't know if it dislikes it because you're not giving your hair enough time to figure it out. So I would say keep a hair diary, just like people keep a food diary to see what things could be giving them food allergies. Keep a hair diary. And how do you know if your hair likes it? If your hair likes something, your hair is going to be soft. If your hair does not like something, it's going to be hard, it's going to be brittle, it is going to be fly away, it's going to be everything opposite of what you want it to be. Okay? So watch what you're putting in your body, keep your scalp clean, and know your hair. And the only way you can do that is to pay attention. Pay attention. Exactly, Lizette. And Faye Sanders, I miss your thank you so much. I found out that when I started putting cayenne pepper and coconut oil in my coffee and you cayenne pepper, you got to remember the reason why that helps is because it opens things up. Okay. Coconut oil on your scalp. Coconut oil is a antibacterial. Okay. Now you also have to be careful with some people have to be careful with coconut oil because it is also a protein. Hey, Tummy Bites TV, how you doing, beautiful? Yay! I just came back and just decided to do a live today. So, amen, Tommy. You do have to get to know you again because I tell you, you know how we do, and this is all mothers, I would think. I'm not gonna say most mothers because we lose ourselves when we have children. We forget that we were actually individuals before we had our kids. Our identity becomes mama, and then when we get a husband or a significant other, and pouring into other people that we forget who we are. We forget what we like, what we don't like. We forget that we actually used to love to do this, do that. Um, so I totally understand. And the reason why your husband doesn't understand why is because men don't typically lose themselves when they become fathers. It is what it is. The truth is the truth. Um, I'm not saying that they're not good fathers, and not doing, doing what they should as a father. However, most of the work for children is done by the mother, even when they're, fathers are doing the thing. It's just a totally different dynamic. So men don't typically lose themselves when they become husbands, when they become fathers. It just doesn't seem it doesn't work that way. The 90, I'm not gonna say 99%, but the load is still on the mom. It is what it is. So that's why he doesn't understand it because he hasn't had to go through. Lady Love, I was going to Osity, um, and I didn't get to go to Osity. I was supposed to be there from May 5th through something. My van had to go into the shop. No, that's not what it was. My husband had to finish, but that's in the video. You'll see it. It's coming up. But I hope you get to see the wild horses. That is what I wanted to do. Are you in the Maryland area, Lady Love? Because you're going to Osity or in the DMV area, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. It's not the Department of Motor Vehicles. DC, Maryland, Virginia. Yes, faith and hope. I love it. Tommy Bite says, "Yeah, I think he took it as I'm trying to leave him." Nope, you are serious, but I understand where you're coming from. Men don't lose themselves. I are going to do a live. We got to figure out how we're going to do that. Maybe you and your husband can join. can join, because I think a lot of people want to hear my husband's side of why I'm doing this by myself, even though my video shares it. And my husband is very, he didn't like social media and all that stuff. He didn't like to do that, but he did say he would do a video with me, because so this world has relationships so mixed up in that they feel like when people become married that you lose, you're no longer an individual. Well, your husband don't go do your job with you, and you don't go do his job with him. Two separate individuals go to their separate jobs, doing separate things, and it's okay for that as long as you can go work and be individuals. But when we talk about doing things like what I'm doing, solo travel around the world as an individual, as a married person, people get their panties all in a knot. Like they can't understand that. What's the difference? Somebody tripping about my husband not going to my job with me. It's crazy. There's a lack of freedom, the dynamic. Yeah, and I think it also has to do with the fact that marriage was not meant for women. Marriage was meant for men. Marriage was meant for men to have property, someone to take care of them, someone to make them feel like they had power, that they were powerful. People lose the sense of being free while still being together. And I think it has more to do with, because in marriage, think about it. In order for a woman in some states to have her tubes tied to prevent her from having children, her husband has to sign off and approve for her to have her tubes tied. What does that say? That's why there is so little individuality in a lot of relationships, because people are thought of, I'm not gonna say people, I'm gonna say women, because a man can go and do whatever he gonna do, and people are gonna say a man is just being a man. But when a woman go do what she gonna do, she's being disrespectful, he's being a simp, and all these whatever that is. I don't even know what a simp is, but whatever that is. Somebody said that about my husband in the comments, and I just deleted it because my husband is far from being a simp, okay? But anywho, but if we think about it, it has to do with the property, because women were just like enslaved people were property, women were property. So, hey, think about it. There are still laws on the books in some states like South Carolina that a man can beat his wife on the steps of the courthouse and legally get away with it on Sundays. Lord, I know my husband does not like being on camera. He has made concessions for me to do YouTube, but it should be no different than having a girls' trip. Just me, myself, and I. It shouldn't be. And I can't tell you how to deal with your husband from that perspective, because you know your husband. Um, but here's the thing: a lot of people don't think about when they are having these conversations, and it becomes an issue for one of the parts. We have to look at their past also. What has he lived with? What trauma is he still living with that he's not healed from, that is preventing him from seeing that you need something and not making it about him? Because what you need has nothing to do with him. But if he hasn't done his work to heal whatever that trauma is, he's going to think that what you're doing has something to do with him, when it has nothing at all to do with him and everything to do with you. Mother's Kitchen, okay. Lady Love 1103, yes. She is being disobedient, is what they will say. Uh-huh. Disobedient. There is nothing in the Bible. Well, there is, but it says both the husband and the wife are to be obedient, or to be um agreeable to one another. People miss that part about the husband and the wife. And it's right there in the same scripture, but we ain't gonna even get into that. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, but now in North Carolina, but the laws in South Carolina are insane. Yes, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. The laws in a lot of these countries, in a lot of these states are insane. Maryland has some crazy laws too. That part. And think about it, Lizette. Aquafina says marriage was designed to keep wealthy families wealthy, which is why girls were gifted to men as wives. They were gifted to men as wives because they were also property. You can't gift a human. And women, and I'm gonna say this, a lot of people who were in the wealthy that they didn't look like us. They were our palm colored counterparts, right? They didn't even think that they don't realize that they were also enslaved, but they were free slaves. That probably went over some. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that they were property and still are property to so many people. There, hey, Lolly Mahone, there is a video on my channel which goes into how am I married. One, I'm married and I'm doing this solo dance because this is my journey, same my husband's journey. We're individuals. What he needs is not what I need, and what I need is not what he needs. So what um and my husband does not think of me as property, and I do not think of him as property. We have a respectful, trustworthy marriage. So that's how. Um, and I'm my own person. I'm gonna be straight up real. I'm my own person. Just because I'm married does not stop me from being who I am and doing what I need to do for me. Exactly, Tommy Bites TV. It in the Bible does say that. There's a scripture in Philippians. Actually, my husband and I actually had it on T-shirts when we got married. Um, that says that we are each other's medicine, basically, that we are supposed to pour into each other. Also, in Ephesians, it says both the husband and the wife are supposed to submit to one another. But again, people miss that. And I'm not a big Bible thumper or anything like that. Um, but yeah, Mother's Kitchen says that's lovely. Most people won't be able to experience that pureness of love. And the reason why most people won't be able to experience that pureness of love is because people are living through, in marriages through the lens of their trauma. My husband and I both have and are still healing through trauma. My husband is a 20-year Navy. So my husband has a lot of trauma from being in the military. But he is healing through it and he is doing the work. But he was also very supportive when we started dating. He also knew that I was an independent person and that I was very well able to take care of myself. My husband also knew that I didn't marry him because I needed him. I married him because I wanted him. My husband didn't marry me because he needed me. He married me because he wanted. And when you marry people because you need them, then you give your power away. Now, that does not mean that we are not supposed to need one another because we are created to need the other sex, right? Because there is a that part in the Bible in Philippians talks about it. And there's a video that I did a long time ago when I had my fashion blog where we talked about it's okay to need a man. Um, we're built to have the desire for love for the opposite sex or for, so we're built that way. That's how mother father God created us. So it's nothing wrong with needing my man, but my point is I don't need my man, my husband, to feel whole. I'm already whole. I was a whole being when God created me. When mother father God decided that I was going to be created in their image, I was already whole. My husband or someone's wife is the icing on the cake. That is bringing us together in communion together. So it's nothing wrong with it, but it's a point of there's a level, there's a type of need. I didn't need my husband to make me feel whole. I needed my husband. What the heck? My whole van just shook. Okay. I guess it was just me. At any rate, it's how you absolutely I'm married. Very much so, and very much in love. I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand, but that is your mindset that you need to check, not mine. You need to check the mindset of why it is so hard for you to understand that I can be married and do solo van life, do solo travel, do solo anything. I go to the bathroom by myself. My husband is not with me. I go to work by myself. My husband is not with me. I go grocery shopping by myself. My husband is not with me. I'm gonna die. My husband is not gonna be with me. Why is it so hard to understand that I am married and traveling solo? Check your mindset. Check whatever it is that you need to figure out as to why that is so problematic for you and so hard and perplexing for you to understand. That's where your work is. It's not even for you to understand how I'm able to do it. What needs to be understood is why you are perplexed. I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope it didn't go over your head. Lolly, I'm not going to give any more energy to that because, again, you need to figure that out. Why is that so perplexing to you? And no, my husband is not with me. My husband is always with me in other ways. Lolly Mahone, you're married and you're trying to understand. The reason why you're trying to understand is because you have issues inside your marriage that you need to figure out. Not me. You don't need to be trying to figure out mine. You need to figure out your marriage and why this is so perplexing to you and why you can't do it. Because if you could do it, then you would not be perplexed. If you were had dealt with whatever the issues are that keep you from doing what you need to do for you, you would not be perplexed. You would not need to understand it. And I'm not being me. What I'm trying to do is to help you to see that you need to do some work. Does that make sense? You need to do some work to understand why this is so perplexing to you because there is some control inside your marriage that is preventing you from being who you need to be. That's all I'm going to say. Um, Juniper says men expect women to be subservient to them because that's the structure of marriage. Now, those are barriers that need to be broken down. Yes, there it is the structure of marriage now, but it is also because that is how the Bible was used to keep women subservient by the way that they use certain scriptures in the Bible, just like they use certain scriptures in the Bible to keep people enslaved. They did the same thing with women, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't divide the word for themselves. And also, we live in a patriarchal world, but the world was created. Look at everything that was created according to history books. It was all created, laws and everything were created by men. They did not give women a voice. And when women did decide to exercise their voice, what did they usually do to them? They shut them down. So that's the reason why so many people like Lolly is having such a hard time understanding how I'm able to have a happy loving, sacred marriage and still be able to do this with my husband's support, with my husband's love, with my husband's financial support, with my husband's continuous communication every single day, many, many times a day. And it's just very hard for so many people. And again, that's lolly, and that's fine. What floats your boat does not float my boat. And that's what makes this beautiful world so beautiful. And I love that for you. If that's what makes you happy, that you would never want to travel alone because you just because you have a husband, you might need to do some work about that on that too. Because why? You're gonna die alone. Your husband ain't gonna die with you. Even if he die on the same day, he gonna still die by himself, and you gonna die by yourself, even if you're in the same bed. So if you would never want to travel alone, maybe that's where some of the work needs to be done to understand why is it that you would never want to travel alone if you had a husband. And that's the part that's problematic for me. Um, because you give so much of your power away because you are married. Okay. um Tommy says, Faith, let's go back here. Faith says, my husband is like your husband. I told him about going solo traveling. He's okay with me going on my own. Exactly. Because he understands that this ain't about him. This has never been about the spouse. It's about our journey, our healing, our desire to travel, because not everybody's husband or wife or significant other or partner is interested in what you're interested in. And that is beautiful because my husband loves soccer. I'm not interested in soccer, but I will go watch him. If my husband wanted to do this with me, that would be great. But right now, this is my journey. And when we decide to do this together, we'll do it together. But right now, this is my journey. This is not his. And I love that for us. Tommy Bite says, I too am married and want to do the same. I think for me, I lost myself during my marriage. I was working when we met, became ill with lupus, and at one point I could not work and needed him. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We do lose ourselves in marriage. And especially you went through something very traumatic. Lupus is a difficult disease. It is not easy. Um, and you needed him. And there's nothing wrong with it. I love it when we can say that we needed our man. I need my husband, but I don't need him to make me whole and complete. God already did that. I need him because he is loving, he is kind, he is supportive, he is, oh gosh, I could just keep going on and on. But yeah, I'll have to call my husband to get off this but live. But anywho, um, there's nothing wrong with that. And I love that for you. And you will be able to do it. Well, it's a lost cause now. If we don't have a mate now, we are one because there's so much nonsense out there. The way males are thinking, girl, I know that's right. Juniper says that's generational in so many ways. Yes, a lot of the things that go on in marriages is very generational, because we also have to, especially if you're of African descent or Native American descent, because not all of us are African from Africa. Some of us were already here, Native Americans, right? Um, at any rate, um, a lot of the things that our enslaved ancestors had to endure and the way that our black men were stripped of their power of being husbands, being providers, being protectors, and so forth during slavery. Um, a lot of the things that black women put up with is directly related to trying to help give black men back their confidence, their power, their um, what was lost during enslavement. So, you know, I was talking to my husband the other day, and we were talking about how so many women put up with so much stuff because it's learned because we watched our mother deal with infidelity and adultery and so forth. We watched our mothers deal with domestic violence and being called out of the names and all sorts of stuff. So a lot of things is generational trauma, and we have to do the unlearn, and that is on us. And part of my journey is unlearning a lot of things that was traumatic. Although I've been doing this for a long time, the healing, I'm still unlearning things. Yes. Yes, Tommy. I'm finally I think when I looked at my monetization the other day, it was like $39. I was like, "Oh, cool. That's cool." I can't wait to get to where you are, where I can actually this channel is actually supporting my travels. I'm so excited about that. You're juicing now, trying to get back on track. Exactly. From the foods I eat, making her yes. And having lupus, you know, you I was just talking about that. What we put in our body, there are so many foods now. I was getting ready to eat. What was I getting ready to eat the other day? I threw it away because it said it had a bioengineered ingredient in it, and I threw it away. I'm trying to remember what it was, and it's something that I used to eat all the time, and I can't remember what it was. But if you're not reading these labels, because we don't know what they're putting in these foods, which is one of the reasons why I am plant based, because I have to cook my food. I can't just go out here to they can't cook plant-based vegans. They just don't they know how to go and do exactly what a lot of people do. They go get Beyond, Impossible, and all these little things that are already pre-made and then try to sell it to you as if there's it. No, I want somebody who cook plant-based food, you know. At any rate, that's another story. Lizette says, sis, a lot of people, Aquafina, sis, a lot of people don't get it because they were conditioned to believe the lies and negative crap from centuries ago. Exactly. It's something about not seeing each other for a while, then reuniting. That feeling is something special. It is something very special about that. My husband, we will fly to one another or whatever way we decide to travel to get to the other person. And we did this when I had my RV, and we would spend time together, and it was beautiful. Um, but what people also miss about this is that the time that we are separate, it's not so much it makes the heart grow fonder. What it does is that you have a moment as an individual, truly as an individual, living alone to only hear your thoughts, to only focus on your needs, to only focus on your wants, to only focus on you. So my husband, when I'm traveling and doing this, is getting and we just talked about it. He was like, "Baby, I have gotten so much done. I've had a chance to sit down and think and do this. There's no chatter. A lot of times we have so much going on from our significant others in our lives or our children and so forth that we cannot hear our own thoughts. We can't hear the beating of our own heart. We can't tap into the yearnings in our own heart. We can't tap into the truth that's being taught that's inside of us. So that's something to think about. Day says, everyone from Miami, Florida, you're not late, beautiful. You're right on time. Here's the thing, traveling without your spouse is needed because you won't have your spouse forever. My first husband died out of the blue, and it leaves an emptiness that's indescribable. I'm so sorry that you endured that. And it's so important. I'm so glad you said that though, because so many people wrap themselves up into their significant others, their spouses, whatever, and they lose themselves and they have no clue who the heck they are. I do that with my kids. I did not know who the heck I was when my kids left. And went on and started their life. I had to figure it out. And that started when my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter was like 10. Um, and she's 41 now. But when she was about 10 years old, she came home one day and said, Mom, I got to ride the basketball practice. I was like, yeah, I know. I mean, I'll take you to basketball. I know you got to ride. She said, no, I want to ride with my friends. And I'm looking at her like, what? It didn't, I had wrapped myself into being her parent, her mother, that it was like, it blew my mind that my child did not need me to take her to practice. I didn't know what to do with myself. When my youngest daughter graduated high school in 2005, and that's when my oldest daughter graduated college also. I had to figure out I had to redo me. Um, so yes, that's a very good point. A lot of people don't know how to operate out without their spouses, and that's sad. It's just like the people who don't know what bills need to be paid, how the bills were paid, where the money is at, how to do this, you need to know how to do everything he can do or everything she can do, you know? Lolly says, yes, I get it. I just didn't see what was going on. Married, traveling solo, but okay, let me stop hitting that. But people like this have a little money. To me, it's like gentrification of being homeless. How you know I got money? You don't know my situation. That's just an assumption. You just did judge. That's an assumption that you made. You don't know how I'm funding this. You're making an assumption. And you know what they say about assumptions. I'm not being ugly. I'm just saying, you know what they say about assumptions, right? And one day I'm going to share the story about how this van was built. And I have a whole home at home. And this has nothing. See, so many people want to put a label on doing this lifestyle as being homeless. This is not being homeless. I have a house, so I'm not houseless or homeless. Okay. This is a choice that I'm taking, an opportunity, and it is a privilege that I'm able to do this right now. I realize that it is a privilege because not everyone can do this, but you don't know whether or not this is stretching us or not. And I'm not going to tell you because it ain't your business. Um, Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. And Lolly, you keep saying you still don't understand. Stop saying that you don't understand. You'll never understand as long as you keep saying, I don't understand, because you're speaking it into existence. You're speaking it into existence. And the reason why you can't understand is because there is something blocking you from understanding it. You need to figure out what that blockage is. We can go back and forth all day. This is where you would need to have a life coach to help you to get inside your head, because you're looking outside and everything is inside of you. You're going to have to figure out what it is that is blocking you from having an understanding of it. Mother's Kitchen says, I cook plant food. I'm sure you would love it. Oh my goodness. I would love it. I'm sure. You know how to use some seasonings, right? Because y'all, Mother's Kitchen, because you gotta have seasons, and salt and pepper just ain't gonna do it. You gotta have some paprika. You gotta have a little basil. You gotta have a little garlic. You gotta have a little onion, a little allspice. You might even need to have a little turmeric, or however you pronounce it. You might have to have some marjoram. I mean, there's just so many seasonings that you can use to make food space taste so good. Mother's Kitchen says, I'm at a space where I want to do space away from each other to then regroup and find what we've learned about ourselves throughout the space as a part. Yes, that is so a freaking amazing. The conversations my husband and I have when we are separate like this, and then when we get back together, the love is so much deeper because again, he's doing his work, I'm doing my work, and then we're coming together and we're having these amazing thought-provoking conversations, and he's able to hear his own thoughts, his own needs and wants, and what's bothering him and what's not bothering him. I'm not there in his ear, he's not here in my ear. It's amazing. It is freaking amazing. Even in my previous marriage, we would have separate trips because I've always believed that you should have your separate things that you enjoy, and then there should be things that you all do together because it keeps everything interesting. But that's just me. Tommy Bite says, "Oh my God, oh whenever my husband and I meet, oh that's so sweet. It's coming. Just claim it. Put it out there in the universe. Mother, Father, God knows that's what you want. Remember, Mother, Father, God wants to give you the delights of your heart." Oh my God, that is true. I am constantly running all week because my daughter graduates. Congratulations to your daughter. And I had to go to the park yesterday and sit with myself. Yes, and you're doing the right things, Tommy. Sitting with yourself. Sitting with yourself is just like meditating. And people think that when you meditate, that your brain just needs to be quiet, empty. It's not gonna be quiet, okay? What you do is you're kind to your brain when you're sitting there because I do it. I meditate and boy, I would think about everything I need to do. And I just say, thank you for reminding me. 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 Okay, thank you. And I just go back into that zone that I need to be in instead of trying to quiet it. If I just continue to do that, because the more you try to quiet your mind, the more it's going to keep going because the ego is actively trying to keep you in the same place. The ego is comfortable. Okay. As long as the ego is comfortable, ego is going to fight to keep that status quo. Growth cannot happen as long as the ego is winning. So just doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, keep sharing with your husband, continue to pray about it. And I said, prayer does change things. Ask Mother, Father, God to show you what you need to do. Start taking some little time away, being solo by yourself now before you get on the road. It doesn't even have to be long trips. Sometimes you can take hours away, and that's being by yourself. I just need some alone time. It has nothing to do with you, baby. I love you. I want to love you even better, even more once I get a chance to get to know me at a different level again. That could possibly help. I was like that with my son, always at football practice with him. I was even volunteer for games, but when he did not want to go on with football after high school, she was lost. Exactly. Lady Love says your space you create is the best I've seen yet. Oh, thank you. Lily, how long have you been married? Or is it Lolly? Um, yeah, I know my family will probably look at me when I tell them what I want to do and say, "Why are you doing this? You have a home." One of my three sisters know and one cousin knows. They said, "Go for it," as you should. I have a beautiful home at home. My husband is holding the fort down at home, and I love my home. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I'm at home, I want to be on the road. I love my home, but I just need to be out in nature and moving around. And part of it could be because I've been a mother since I was 16. I've been somebody's wife since I was 18. So I never got to have a childhood, if you will. I never got to have young teenage years, young adult years. I was already an adult. So maybe that has something to do with it, which is part of what this journey is about. It's even understanding that. But I'm also disenchanted with the United States. So who knows? Lolly, you're itching to be blocked. Slow down. Lolly sounds like she's AI. Could be. Tasha D says, I'm preparing for van life. There will be times my husband joins me, but there will be most of the time when I'm solo. He understands I need time and space away. Yes. And I think that is an indication of so many things. It doesn't have anything to do with maturity. What it has to do with is a place in many cases when both parties are at a place where they truly are understanding of each other, and they've already done some work, some healing. They've been in therapy, they've done coaching, they've done something, and it's a lot easier for them to be supportive and um, of the other person when they need that time alone, because they realize it ain't got nothing to do with me. It does not have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with me. And I love that for us, Tasha. Tommy bites, and your husband exactly right. Your husband can't make you happy. We're responsible for our own happiness. The truest thing Will Smith ever said was that he cannot make Jada happy. We are all responsible for our own happiness. Because when we give that power to someone else to make us happy, it's just like what happened when your husband died. You were lost, right? When we're going to be happy, when we're going to be sad, when we're going to be happy. I don't ever want to make that my husband's responsibility. I did that in my first, even in my second marriage. I did that in my second marriage. My first marriage was to my kid's father. We were kids. I met him when I was 10. I don't even really count that as a marriage because anyway, we were married, but we didn't know what the heck we were doing. But my second marriage, I did make my happiness my husband's responsibility. And my husband could not make me happy. You know why? Because he could only make himself happy. It's just like I can't change him, he can't change me. We are responsible for our own change. We're responsible for our own growth. We're responsible for our own happiness, and that person is. Now what they can do is make life easier for us so that we can tap into our happiness. And making our life easier is them also doing their work to heal, them also doing things that make them happy, them also giving each other space to be who we are and accepting of who we are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh yes, Mother Kitchen, I like that. She says she's in a hurry. Oh, y'all are too funny. Oh my God, y'all, it is 11 o'clock. I need to call. Oh, I can't call my husband. He has to get up and pretty early, so I'll just send him a text message and let him know that I love him. Hopefully, he's having some sweet dreams right now. But I'm gonna let you all go. I would say I ain't gonna hold you all too long, but I've already held you for 2 hours. It has been amazing. Thank you so very, very much. I have truly enjoyed this, and I do have some content ideas from you all, and I appreciate that. Much love and peace to you too, and hopefully I'll get some of your plant-based cooking. Tommy Bites TV, thank you as well. Can't wait to follow. I'm already a subscriber, if I'm not mistaken. I know I am. And Juniper, Lizette, Aquafina, Day. Did I ever get the electrical? Yeah, I did get my electrical fixed. I got it fixed the next day, actually. I did an update, but I'll go ahead and tell you what happened. It was the main connection, the wires had jogged themselves loose somehow, don't even know how. And that's what the problem was. Got all of that fixed. and cost me $380, but it's done. So now every 500 or so miles, I'll just make sure those wires, all of the wires and stuff are still very tight. And if they're not tight, I just tighten them up. Blessings to you too. Love you all. My algorithm is going to blow up. I certainly hope so. But at the same time, I do just like it. Like slow and steady is fine with me because I do want to be able to get in a rhythm because this is new to me, traveling and having to edit while I'm on the road and trying to figure it all out. It's a lot. Then I also have my little business that I'm doing. I have a couple of clients that I work with. Um, I have to do that. I still have my Black women who RV. I have to do that. So I've got a lot of balls in the air that I'm trying to juggle. So slow and steady works for me, but I do hope that the channel will do very well because I do want to get out of insurance. I don't enjoy insurance anymore. Um, and COVID really, really hurt my business. So it's been a little challenging. So I'm hoping that this channel, the monetization will help me to buy gas at least. Thank you. I have thought about that, Lady Love. You know what? I want to do something in the community and we'll do a poll and see what be a good night. We have not had the virtual meet for May was on May 21st, and then we'll do it again in June. I don't know what the date is in June. I have to look that up, but I'll be posting it inside Black Women Who RV. Thank you, Faith and Hope. Blessings to you, and you have a wonderful night as well. I love you, God. I love you all. I'm working on it. Mwah! Thank you so much for being here. Sweet dreams, everyone.